What's up? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right. So, hey, I'm Sekou Wrights. I am the host of what we're calling the Be Your Own Hero Show. Hero is an acronym, it means helping everyone reap optimism. In other words, helping others helps you, gives you a good vibe feeling. So practice it. Oh, speaking of which, I've been meaning to do Reverend Melissa's act of kindness. She asked us to do an act of kindness this week. So I got to get to it. I haven't gotten to it yet. I keep thinking about times when I think I'm going to make it, but I haven't done it yet. So anyway, I'm on it. I'm on it. Rev Mel. All right. So my job is to be a motivational speaker. That's number one, a motivational speaker, a motivational speaker, a motivational speaker. I'm saying it 3 times because I want the universe to hear and acknowledge me, accept that I am choosing to be a motivational speaker. And because there's so much going on with me right now that I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. So that said, I'm also giving out tips for artists, financial tips for artists, financial tips for artists. Because some artists need some tips for money. Yeah. Quick sidebar. I'm in Baltimore right now, and we drove past an artist settled building. And I gotta tell you that I don't know what to say about it. The artists that I only saw a few people outside, it's cold, but the artists that I saw were of age, and I felt like their apartments were not of age. Like, t-shirts hanging up, like little piece of fabric hanging up as their, what's that called? The blinds. And so I just made me think about how much how much artists need money, need how much artists need funds. Oh no, how much how much knowledge artists need about funds. All right, because it just goes with you. The longer you go, and when we try to say that, oh, I don't need to worry about that, I'll hire somebody to deal with that, I'm just focused on the art, we get ourselves in a bad place, bad place. So anyway, let me finish my intro. All right, so check me out here Monday through Friday at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. And if this show provides any value, please like, please comment, please share. Please like, please comment, please share. All right. And recognize that I am the man who is doing a show with a stroke. I don't know if there's anyone else out there. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone else out there. No, that's interesting. I don't know. I might be the only guy out here who's doing a show with a stroke. I don't know. I don't know. That could be a record sometime. Somebody hit up Guinness World Records for me. Maybe so. Maybe so. All right. My stroke date. I'm gonna have to start saying this because I realized I got it wrong yesterday. I wrote it down in my notes, and I'm going to say it every day so that I can remember it. My stroke day was 7/14. 7/14. So that's July 17th. Yeah, July 14th. July 14th. July 14th. July 14th. July 14th. Okay. All right. So, and obviously, shout out to New Thought Media Network for giving me the space and opportunity to give this a go. To give this a go, for letting me try this. Let me do this. Let me do this as a man who has had a stroke recently. And even though July 14th seems like a long time, it hasn't been. I understand. I understand that I've been moving very fast, very quickly through the process. So, amen to that. Amen to that. Okay, let me see who we got here. See what we got here. Uh-oh. Oh, this is Fee is inviting people to she's inviting people to watch the show. All right. All right. Yeah, we need artists need support. A minute. But yeah, we artists need support, funding and resources. Yeah, we need support. And shout out to Linda from the mountains of Colorado. All right. All right. So, and shout out to Tim. Oh, sorry. There we go. Shout out to Tim. Okay. So let's get down to it. I got my dice. Now y'all heard the story if you heard it yesterday. If you watched the show yesterday, I had a fight with this dice because I realized that it wasn't just on accident that I wasn't finding that my dice. Like I could see where it was and I could have gone to get it. It would take me a couple seconds, but I wasn't going to get the dice because I did not want to play. I did not want to play because I didn't want to move the money. But let me tell you some interesting things happen. Let me roll the dice and then we'll tell you what happened. So here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Five. Five. All right. I can feel Rev Melissa laughing. Because she prayed for $6 yesterday, and she prayed. Oh well, I'm assuming she prayed for another $6. But anyway, $5. Now, the reason why she's praying for it is because it's challenging to me. The reason why I've been reluctant is because I've been worried about money. Now, she is encouraging me via the dice roll challenge, and also in terms of coaching, because we've been coaching. She's been encouraging me to change my language around money. And that's been a great help. So yesterday we talked a little yesterday, and she encouraged me to change my thinking, to change my view, my outlook on money. Now, I'm not going to say that's not easy. It's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it is necessary work to do, and to be the house of abundance that I want to be. To be the abundance that I want to be. Ashe. Ashe. So shout out to Rev Mel for getting me on the right track. Okay. So let me explain what happened. I left my $6 because yesterday was $6. I made my $6 move, made it move after I talked to Reverend Mel, because I was gonna come on today and be like, listen, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, but I did it right after our session. I found out some interesting things. I found out two interesting things. Number one, I've decided, oh yeah, okay, I'll finish the way I was gonna say it. Reverend Mel, at the end of her show yesterday, told a story about how she accumulated her 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 $1,000 of an emergency fund so quickly. And what was interesting to me is, even though she got the idea from me, even though I got the idea from Dave Ramsey, that she didn't do any of what we said. Right? What she did was a complete unique thing to her. It had to do with $5 bills. If you want to fully understand it, you have to watch Rev Mel's thing, her show. But basically, she was using $5, the use of $5 to make sure that she could enable her to get the money quickly. That's how she built up her $1,000 weekend, her $1,000 warrior account, right? Your fixated warrior account. And that's not something I said. I have no idea about $5 bills, and neither did Dave Ramsey. And so that helps me out because you've got to use this stuff for as much as you can use it for. And then you've got to dictate how to let it flow for you, right? Because you can only, we can only bring you to water, right? We can only bring you to water. Once you're there, then you've got to see what works for you and experiment. And her experimentation inspired me to do an experimentation. Now she talked about the show, talked about this on the show, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to reallocate my dice roll challenge money to 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 my my emergency fund. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. Couldn't get that out. To donate my money to my emergency fund. Emergency fund. Like now, it's time for me to shift gears. Yes, I still have some small thing I'll set aside towards investment, but I need to shift my main thing towards the emergency fund. I need to do it. I need to do it because I, like you, am sitting here talking about this emergency fund and I haven't done it. I haven't done it. And so my goal is to use that little bit of coffee a day, that little bit of coffee a day, and move that towards my funds for my emergency funds, right? And just doing that helped me greatly because I have a separate account set aside for my emergency fund. So I did that part. I set aside a separate a separate space for the money, and now, oh, man, that was a what did I call them? The aphasia. The aphasia. Something happened, and the 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 Dracula. No, the dinosaur came and grabbed my thought and took it away. Man, I was good. I was on a good one too. All right, so let me try again. Okay, so you want to save for your emergency fund, and if you need to use the dice roll challenge, who's to say you can't? Who's to say you can't? Nobody. It's your money. You got to do with it what you want to do with it, but just do the various steps. So I've decided to to set my money towards the emergency fund, and that reminded me where I just was. My emergency fund is it. I already have a separate account, and so I had $1 in that account. $1 in that account. $1, and then I put in the six, and I had $7. And somehow that $7 just made me feel great. I was like, oh, that felt great to me. So I'm going to stick with that to build up my emergency fund. I'm going to do what Dave Ramsey and Anthony O'Neill say to do. They have both done it. They have both been in terrible financial straits, and they've been able to turn themselves around. I want to do what they did. The first thing is create an emergency fund. So that's $1,000 for those of you who missed it. It's $1,000. You want to take that money and set it up for yourself. $1,000. Now this is an emergency fund. Emergency fund. It's not. It's not a new sofa fund, right? It's not a new TV fund. You're not going to get that money in their account and start looking like, ooh. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to put that money aside, and then you're going to start. I pause there for on purpose, but let me see why. Well, I'll say so. When you get to day number 2 of Dave's baby steps, his number 2 is to relieve your debt, relieve all your debt. But he doesn't go to that here. He goes from number two to number three. What? Yeah, that was interesting to me in this book, which is Dave. Remember Dave Ramsey, Complete Guide to Money. Complete Money Guide to Money. So in this one, he talks about number two, but he doesn't go into it. He just talks about the main things. So the main things are the emergency fund. The emergency fund is your protection against life unexpected events, right? It's like the 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 backup plan that you have, right? Without having to ask mom and dad. I know I've been there. Without having to use a credit card, just be, just have that money. Just have that money, right? And then he skips from that point, um, baby step number one. He skips to baby step number three, and skips over baby step number two entirely. So I have to get to why that is. But he says this: how much would you need to meet all? Oh, well, let me read it this way. Baby step three is 3 to 6 months of expenses and savings. 3 to 6 months. Now, the $1,000, as I read about it yesterday, is really about your mind. It's about your mind and having the right mindset. Once you've done that, then you've got to set aside 3 to 6 months of expenses. And that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious. So anyway, this is what it says. How much would you need to meet all of your obligations and pay your bills if your income suddenly dried up? Then put 3 to 6 months of that in the bank. How much would you need to meet all of your obligations and pay all your bills if your income suddenly dried up? Then put 3 to 6 months in the bank. Untouchable. Untouchable. It's just sitting there, breaking case of emergency. Now, that's something else. I think most artists, we don't even know what that number is. We don't even know what that number is. What number we would need to pay all of our bills and obligations? Well, I don't think I know. Like, yeah, we all need to figure that out. I think so. Before we get to the point of saving the money up, you've got to get to the point of knowing what that number is. You got to get out a pen and some paper and really write it down. Like, what is the number that I would need per month? And then at some point get to setting that money aside. But for now, I'm on the formula part one, the baby step number one, getting to the $1,000 set aside. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to say that went a little bit sideways. I wanted to also say something else. This is for my more advanced students. So for my more advanced students, I don't know why my nose is itching so much today. Ooh, it's bothering me. Anyway, I'm talking to the people who got with me on the oh, let me just look. The I can't remember the name of it now. But in your Ameritrade account, right? In your Ameritrade, you went and you got a IRA account, an IRA account. Well, this is what's interesting. So yesterday, when I closed out my $6 and moved that $6 into my I don't know why aphasia keeps messing with me. So once I set that money aside for the emergency fund, I decided, all right, so let's whatever is left in that account, I'm going to move into my my IRA account just to be done with it, just to be basically done with that, done with investing for now, right? And this is what happened. I moved the money into Seiku's IRA, which is here. In I keep it on Ameritrade, and so I'm looking at my Ameritrade app. Ameritrade, Ameritrade, right? And what it does is it says, wait a minute, let me get there. Let me get there so I can say it right. Okay. I just moved like 20 bucks. It's $19. $19 I moved. Once I moved it, it asked me, did I want to use the money for 20, 2022, last year, basically, 2022, last year, or to this year, 2023. And I was like, what? I just assumed that because a year has passed, because we're in a new year, anything I contributed would go towards the 2023. But no, you can still set it up to go towards 2022. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because that means that I thought that my effort to get all the numbers in, all the funds in by the end of the year, which I was not successful at, I was like, okay, that ship has sailed now. But no, you can still make money. You can still cement money. You can still concrete. You can still cement. You can still put in money. Put in money towards your 2022 IRA. Now that's very very exciting, and I hope to learn more about that. So for the more advanced students of mine who have gone and gotten the IRA, then listen, listen, there's some more to be discovered there. Okay, well, all right, I think I'm done. I'm done. I don't know why the aphasia monsters grabbed me so much today. But anyway, I hope I got something out of there. I hope you got something out of there for yourself. All right, so I'm gonna get into the hero news. The hero news. Let's see. All right. Let me see what else. Let's see. Lena says, you are an artist. Your creativity applies to money just as it does to anything else. Yes. Ashe. Ashe. And good morning, good afternoon. How can I'm just reading my contacts. How can we support? You can support me by buying, by going to the website and buying one of these hoodies. There's this hoodie and there's other hoodies. There's other things that you can buy from those places, and those will always feed me, but they'll feed you too, because you got to walk around with this hero hoodie on. And I've seen it happen. I've been out in public and had people call me hero just because they see hero on my chest. And so I know that's happening for the unhoused people who I'm providing hoodies for too. So go to saycoolrights.com. Let me see if I can get that up. Ooh, it's gonna be a challenge. Let's see if we get. Oh, there we go. There we go. So just go to saycoolrights.com. Okay, so hero news. Hero news. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Right. That's a reminder for me. And I want to give a little marathon story. I haven't done that in a while. Marathon story. There would be sections. I've already explained how noisy their route was. I mean, can you imagine 26.2 miles and it's mostly littered with people? Like, it's incredible. It's incredible. And all along the route, but especially the place where it was the most crowded, you would find people in wheelchairs running the race. Yes, running the race. So I don't know if they let them out first because it got wheels and let them out with the cyclists to let them start the marathon early. I believe that's what happened. And but these people were like feeling it. They were just feeling it, and they were just, I remember this one guy in particular, his brother, man. He was spinning around. He wasn't going straight. He was spinning around, and he knew that he was catering to the audience. It didn't seem like it's first time, and by spinning this way, doing this, throws his hands up, he got this great response from the audience that must have filled him up, and just get giving him so much energy that really surprised me. And he wasn't the only one I saw, but he was the one that I remember the most because I moved past him, but he was moving slow, and dancing the whole way. And yeah, he was really into it that day. I bet you he can't wait until next year to do it again. All right, so that was a really really dope feeling. I wish I had a picture of him, but I don't know. I didn't have a picture of him. All right, so that's that. And let's see. Let's see. There was something else I want to talk about. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Um, Aphasia. My 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 pain in dealing with aphasia this week has been, has been troubling. And I'll just say this again, that every time you think that you've gotten a certain place, something else happens to pull you back down. That my progress, it does not is not like this. It's not like this. It may seem like this to you, but it's not like this in real life. And so I am trying to take the bitter with the sweet. Take the bitter with the sweet. And that's all I want to say right now this time. But I'm working it out. Working it out. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna close it out. And just remember, if you don't remember anything I said, remember that these things, these tips we're talking about, are available to you. You can use them however you want to use them. You can use them in terms of the money, the dice roll money going into your emergency fund account, like I'm doing now, or wherever. Like make it make sense for you. Go back and watch wherever Mel's check from yesterday is the very last thing that she's talked about using her money in a different way to get that $5, and use that $5 to get her account her account fully funded, because she did it very quickly, and because she had an innovative way of thinking about it. So think outside the box. That's my point. Think outside the box. All right. All right. So that's cool. Definitely those hills and valleys, Tim. I know you know. I know you know. I know you know. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on at it. We're gonna keep on going at it. All right. So that's it. Um, yeah, keep doing. Ugh, man, aphasia is getting me today. Keep doing. Keep being a hero. Be your own version of a hero. And remember that now is better than perfect. All right. Later.